explain to us exactly what brought this war about? Like, I know it has to do with religion, but is there something more into it? Is it Islamic and Christianity? Is that the two religions being opposed? So it's just religion, that's it?
No, we also have, we don't have a freedom in the south because all the powers are with the Arab in the north. Christianity, it just come in when the Islamic law being used as a constitution in the country. There's no freedom of religion. Also in schools, we are not getting chance of going to schools because all the schools are being changed to Islamic schools.
Okay.
So our people are not getting the resources that we want. Even though our country, the rich country, is in the south, all these resources being used are in the south. But people come and take these resources to go and use them.
Okay.
So we don't have the freedom in the south. Our resources are being used and we are not benefiting out of the resources.
I get it. So it's like north and south.
North
You're
and the
saying
south.
that the north, they're trying to take everything,
dominate
all the resources from the south,
the
not
south,
giving you
yeah.
guys anything.
Yeah.
And so the north is more dominated by Islamic law
Yeah.
and more Muslims in the south.
Yeah.
And that's why there's this huge conflict.
Yeah.
So do you guys see any resolution anytime soon?
I hope there is a peace talk going on now in Nairobi. And mostly that peace talk will end in March. And people have a hope there will be a referendum for 6 years. They give what they sign, what they call self-rule for 6 years for the South. After 6 years, people have to go for voting. Whether the Southern Sudan will become a different country or they will remain the same country and they will be having a different state. So this thing will happen after 6 years when the South have their own freedom of self-rule. If they see that we don't want to stay with the North any longer, so the country will be split after 6 years referendum. Another thing also, the sharing of resources now is a big problem in debate now. So the northern people who are dominating the South, they say they want to give 10% of the oil, while the oil is in the South.
Belong to source.
Oh, the oil is in
We
the
have the
south.
resources and they give us 10% instead of 90%.
And so the north takes 90%.
We take 90% and they don't have
no
oil.
wonder why there's a war. I'm just curious, as far as your English, did you learn it in Sudan or did you learn it when you got here?
Actually, we learn English since we were in Kenya. This is where we start learning English. And when we came here also, we get a bit different, you know.
Because the English is a little different
There's
from what you learned
American
there.
way of speaking and, you know, a British way, you know, is different. And I was also confused, you know, about some of the words which has been used by the American. So, but now I get.
I'm curious,
I
like,
came
like
to
what?
Rational with them.
Like, do you know our slang yet?
Oh, definitely they do.
Yeah?
You should hear. A matter of fact, one of these people told me who their favorite rap artist was. I think it was you, Keith.
Makuru.
Who was your favorite rap artist?
Is Joro,
Oh!
Joro and Mario.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. You don't hear that anywhere else but in the United States.
That's B103.
Yeah.
See, he even knows about B103, and I live and don't know much about B103.
In fact, we have been to different places. Since we left Sudan, we went to Ethiopia. That was the first country we went. When we split our country, moving to the border, we were just going to the direction where we can be safe or get alive.
Now,
Then
has
the
it-
first country we hit was Ethiopia. And some of us, we were very young, so we started school there with the United Nations. The United Nations opened a school for us, and we start learning ABCD in Ethiopia.
1990 to 90.
And going back to Sudan, we got a lot of difficulties on the way moving because there was no sufficient transport for us. We were just moving, walking.
now, you
So
guys
on the
walked.
way, where we work, there was the people were dying because of hunger. People are dying because of thirsty, no water. People also getting wild animals to eat them tonight because if you are left behind, you are tired and you sleep.
Yeah.
So the wild animal will eat you behind, and people will not take care of you because nobody. Everybody was struggling
for himself.
Yeah.
You know,
the struggle of survival.
when I read that, I just could not, I could not even imagine something like that because it's just so, nothing like that would ever happen here, and to hear what you guys have gone through, it's just so amazing. And I mean, you guys deserve so much recognition for it. What about, my question to you is, how did you guys assemble this group of boys to just wander? I mean, how did that happen?
Yeah, I think people move at the different villages, and it was not something organized. It was something just happened abruptly. If it happened to different villages, then we start running. So at the end of the day, we come and meet somewhere
together.
Then we were
at
put
the
together.
border.
Yeah.
So we are just collected together,
Oh.
and the United Nations, Commissioner for Refugee, came in. Then they tried to supply food, and then they move us to the neighboring country, because they within the place there is a fighting going on. All the houses were burned, and from there you separate with your father. So it depends only where you run. Anybody you find there will become your
Your brother,
friend.
your
Yeah,
relative.
like
Your
me
relative
now,
or-
Matul, Makul,
Yeah.
we have become, you know, we
become
look like
now
brothers.
brothers.
We
Yeah.
live together.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask
You
you
know?
because I remember you guys was telling me how you actually watched some of the people in your group being eaten by animals. I mean, how was that to actually see the? You know, I guess you would call them your loved ones because they were part of your tribe. To see that you have to run and that person was attacked by this animal, and you know that they became this animal's dinner, so to speak. I mean,
Yeah, anyway, you know that, you know, children, when there is anything happen among them, you know, nobody can try to help, you know. You have to run by yourself, trying to protect
but you don't
yourself.
ever think about, hey, you know, the pain that that person may have went to for, you know, to get, you know, the freedoms that you have now.
Yeah, we feel, you know, when you run, you feel also maybe tomorrow or this time,
But right now
you're going to
you're
be eaten by. So when we sit together, you know, when we walk and sit together resting, you have to sit in the middle, you know, somebody behind say, no, I'm coming here, you know.
Oh, just like
Now, just out of curiosity, did you actually witness? I mean, did you just hear? Because 4,000 boys, that's a lot. You don't really see what's going on. Did you guys happen to witness anything like that happening, as far as a friend getting, you know,
Yeah, it's
Being
killed
eaten
by
or-
an animal?
Right,
Did you see it?
yeah.
It can happen sometimes because people are very many. So when you move out the line, you find a group of people can rest. People who go ahead and they left some print behind, if they are eaten somewhere in the middle,
Oh, you
when
see
you
it.
come here, you may get the body of the person,
Or blood.
or you get the
down.
bone or the blood.
Oh
And
God.
Yeah.
even
animal
where
might
it
have
was
pushed.
fighting with the guy, you know.
Pull that guy away, and then you can get blood on the street. So you can know this is Mr. Reagan with the name. So when you go ahead, you say, I get Mr. Reagan, he died, or the animal eat
and
with
some
the
also-
name, so you can
and
remember.
Some of them also it is because of like if you are tired, you know
Because
water.
some people say,
Yeah,
you know, what
so-
a life is. Dying today and dying next tomorrow is the same.
The same.
Let me
If
die, I
you
don't
give
want
up
to
like
go.
this, you're gonna
Because
die.
they don't know where they are going.
Yeah, exactly.
So they have to give up.
Well, what
So-
gave you guys the strength to? Because I know you told us you walked a month. I mean, that was a lot of walking.
Yeah.
What gave you the strength to continually to walk from Sudan to Ethiopia, from Ethiopia back to Sudan, and all all the different destinations you went through?
Yeah.
That is the
Actually,
problem.
there was a few of the elders, the biggest people. There were very few people. So when we walk, they have to say, "Oh, go! It is only 15 miles, only 1 mile here. You will go and get water. You know, there's food somewhere here. There are people here who has arranged everything. You will go and eat. You will go and get closer. You know."
So it
We
kind
say,
of gave
yeah.
you hope.
Yeah, some people
Encouragement.
try
You
you
just
reach that place. They
make
say,
your
"No,
heart to
it's
be
very
strong.
near."
Yeah.
So they were trying to encourage us, you know,
Encourage
to,
us, yeah.
Oh,
to go ahead.
that's amazing.
So did you guys come straight to Georgia, or did you go to another place and then come here?
No, just Georgia.
Anyway, it's different, you know, the flight, you know. The flight took some route, you know. So we go a long way. You know.
Yeah, in Middle East.
Yeah, we went up to, from Kenya, we flew from Kenya to Saudi
Belgium.
Arabia. Then from Saudi Arabia to Rome to Paris to New York.
You did
New
all that to
York,
come
Washington,
here?
From
DC.
New York, we came to Washington,
Yeah.
and from Washington to Georgia.
So you guys almost got like a free flight around the world.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So do you guys, are you able to keep in touch with your family?
Yeah,
right now,
probably. Since 1987 to 2000, I couldn't know where my parents is. But when I came here,
To United States.
I met one of the people who came from Khartoum to Georgia here. So he asked me, and I explained myself. He said, "Oh, I know where your brother is."
Mm.
So my brother, he told me that my brother is in Cairo, Egypt.
Oh, awesome.
He tried his best until he gave me a phone number, and I talked to my brother. My
Wow.
brother is now in Egypt. So.
Well, how were you introduced to Christianity over there? Because it's so scarce. How did you come across Christianity?
Christianity was introduced by the British. When Sudan was colonized by the British and missionaries come into Sudan and teach Christianity. Mostly in the southern Sudan, most of the people are Christian. And most of the population also are, they have traditional way of belief. Some people, they believe in God, but they don't know what the God is. Some people, they believe on their father God. They say, my father God. They don't believe in any religion. That is they call African traditional belief. They believe his father is the God. If your father die, everything happened to you. You say, "Oh, my father God."
In a way that makes sense because you know if it wasn't for your parents, you wouldn't be here. So in a way, they are kind of God.
They also
that makes
give
sense.
stuff. I mean, sacrifice to the ancestors. You know.
Yeah.
So they may cut a branch of tree, a piece of wood like this, and then they dive down and put it there. So they come with the goat, kill it, say, "Oh, my father, what is my grandfather, what about that?" You know.
But what make problem now is the Islamic. Our people, they don't need Islamic. And then make now people to being forced to Islamic. Also, it involved to a political in the country. If you maybe finish high school, going to a high institution, so your name must be Mohammed or Ismail, so that it should be accepted in the university or in other institution.
Although you pass the graduation test, and your name is maybe James or Angelo or
You have
Mark,
to change it to Muslim.
so you have to change. And if you see before changing your name, you will not go to university.
And even you will not even pass,
being
provided your result will
It's
go
like
down.
you have to lose your identity because of the government.